Welcome to Bible Quizzes. There are 80 questions in this quiz. Are you ready? Let's begin. 1. Exodus is the blank book of the Old Testament. First, third, second, fourth. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is second. Exodus is the second book of the Old Testament after Genesis. 2. What is the main theme of the book of Exodus? Sacrifices, Israel's journey from Egypt, creation, building of the temple. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Israel's journey from Egypt. The main theme of the book of Exodus is Israel's journey from Egypt. 3. Which of Jacob's sons was already in Egypt before the others followed? Joseph, Judah, Benjamin, Reuben. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Joseph, Exodus 1:5. All those who were descendants of Jacob were 70 persons, for Joseph was in Egypt already. 4. What gender of children did Pharaoh command to be killed at birth? Male, both, female, none. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is male, Exodus 1:16. And he said, "When you do the duties of a midwife for the Hebrew women, and see them on the birth stools, if it is a son, then you shall kill him, but if it is a daughter, then she shall live." 5. From which tribe did Moses come? Ephraim, Levi, Judah, Benjamin. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Levi, Exodus 2:1-2. A man of the house of Levi went and took as wife a daughter of Levi, so the woman conceived and bore a son, Moses. 6. What material did Moses' mother use to coat the ark she placed him in? Resin and mud, glue, clay and pitch, asphalt and pitch. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is asphalt and pitch, Exodus 2:3. But when she could no longer hide him, she took an ark of bulrushes for him, daubed it with asphalt and pitch, put a child in it, and laid it in the reeds by the river's bank. 7. What was Pharaoh's daughter doing at the river when she discovered Moses? Praying, bathing, fishing, picnic. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is bathing, Exodus 2:5. Then a daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river, and her maidens walked along the riverside, and when she saw the ark among the reeds, she sent her maid to get it. 8. Who watched Moses from a distance as he floated on the river? His mother, a servant, his sister, his brother. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is his sister, Exodus 2:4, and his sister stood afar off to know what would be done to him. 9. Who nursed Moses during his infancy? Pharaoh's daughter, a servant of Pharaoh, his mother, a midwife. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is his mother, Exodus 2:9. Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child away and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages." So the woman took the child and nursed him. 10. Why did Pharaoh's daughter name him Moses? Because he was drawn out of water, because of a divine vision, because of his Hebrew origin, because he was found in the weeds. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is because he was drawn out of water, Exodus 2:10. And the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. So she called his name Moses, saying, Because I drew him out of the water. 11. To which land did Moses flee after killing an Egyptian? Goshen, Midian, Sinai, Canaan. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Midian, Exodus 2:15. When Pharaoh heard of this matter, he sought to kill Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. 12. How many daughters did the priest of Midian have? 5, 3, 12, 7. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is 7, Exodus 2:16. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and they filled the troughs to water their father's flock. 13. What did Moses name his sons, saying, I have been a stranger in a foreign land? Eliezer, Caleb, Ruel, Gershom. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Gershom, Exodus 2:22. And she bore him a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in a foreign land. 14. Which chapter of Exodus narrates Moses' encounter with a burning bush? Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Chapter 5. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Chapter 3, Exodus 3:2. So he looked, and behold, the bush was burning with fire, but the bush was not consumed. 15. What did Moses see appearing from the flames of the burning bush? A fiery serpent, a chariot of fire, an angel of the Lord, an old prophet. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is an angel of the Lord, Exodus 3:2. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. 16. Which mountain was identified as the mountain of God in Exodus 3? Mount Sinai, Mount Horeb, Mount Ararat, Mount Olives. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Mount Horeb, Exodus 3:1. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the back of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. 17. What name of God did God tell Moses to use when standing before Pharaoh? I am who I am. Adonai, Elohim, Yahweh. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, I am who I am, Exodus 3:14. And God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, Thus you shall say to the children of Israel, I am has sent me to you. 18. Around what time did the firstborns of Egypt die? You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is at midnight, Exodus 12:29. And it came to pass at midnight that the Lord struck all the firstborn in the land of Egypt. 19. What happened to Moses' hand when he put it in his bosom as instructed by God? It turned to stone. It turned into a snake. It became golden. It became leprous. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, it became leprous, Exodus 4:6. Furthermore, the Lord said to him, Now put your hand in your bosom. And he put his hand in his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hands was leprous, like snow. 20. What did Moses complain to God about his speech? He was shy of speaking. He lacked eloquence. He was dumb. He didn't know the language. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, he lacked eloquence. Exodus 4:10. Then Moses said to the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither before nor since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. 21. Whom did God say he had made Moses to be before Pharaoh? A prophet, as God, a king, a judge. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, as God. Exodus 7:1. So the Lord said to Moses, See, I have made you as God to Pharaoh, and Aaron your brother shall be your prophet. 22. How did God describe Israel's sonship? As his beloved son, as his only son, as his firstborn son, as his servant. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, as his firstborn son. Exodus 4:22. Then you shall say to Pharaoh, Thus says the Lord, Israel is my son, my firstborn. The Israelites go. 23. Who hardened Pharaoh's heart not to let the Israelites go? God, Satan, Moses, Pharaoh himself. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is God, Exodus 10:20. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let the children of Israel go. 24. For how long were the waters of Egypt turned to blood? 3 days, 7 days, 5 days, 10 days. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is 7 days, Exodus 7:24-25. And all the Egyptians dug all around the river for water to drink, because they could not drink the water of the river, and 7 days passed after the Lord had struck the river. 25. What was the second plague God struck Egypt with? Frogs, hailstones, locusts, lice. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is frogs, Exodus 8:2. But if you refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all your territory with frogs. 26. Which plague followed the plague of locusts? Boils, darkness, hail, death of the firstborn. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is darkness. The plague of darkness followed the plague of locusts. Exodus 10:22. So Moses stretched out his hand toward heaven, and there was thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. 27. What accompanied the hailstones that struck Egypt? Locusts, hurricanes, fire, thunders. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is fire, Exodus 9:24. So there was hail, and fire mingled with the hail, so very heavy that there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. 28. What did God command the Israelites to ask from their Egyptian neighbors? Livestock, gold and silver, grain and oil, all of the above. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is gold and silver, Exodus 12:35. Now the children of Israel had done according to the word of Moses, and they had asked from the Egyptians articles of silver, articles of gold, and clothing. 29. What were the cherubim on the Ark of the Covenant made of? You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is pure gold, Exodus 25:18. And you shall make 2 cherubim of gold, of hammered work you shall make them at the 2 ends of the mercy seat. 30. What other food did the Israelites eat accompanying the Passover lamb? Bitter herbs, grain and oil, unleavened bread, sweet fruits. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is bitter herbs and unleavened bread. Exodus 12:8. Then they shall eat the flesh on that night, roasted in fire, with unleavened bread and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. 31. In which month did the Israelites leave Egypt? Sivan, Tishrei, Elul, Abib. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Abib, Exodus 13:4. On this day you are going out in the month of Abib. 32. What animal was used to redeem the firstborn of donkeys? A lamb, a calf, a goat, a pigeon. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is a lamb, Exodus 13:13. But every firstborn of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb, and if you will not redeem it, then you shall break its neck, and all the firstborn of men among your sons you shall redeem. 33. Which sea did the Israelites cross when they left Egypt? Dead Sea, Sea of Galilee, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Red Sea, Exodus 15:4. Pharaoh's chariots and his army he has cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. 34. What was the first battle the Israelites fought after leaving Egypt? Against the Moabites, against the Amalekites, against the Canaanites, against the Midianites. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is against the Amalekites, Exodus 17:8. Now Amalek came and fought with Israel in Rephidim. 35. What did Moses name the altar he built after victory over the Amalekites? The Lord is my peace. The Lord is my banner. The Lord is my salvation. The Lord is my help. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, the Lord is my banner, Exodus 17:15. And Moses built an altar and called its name, the Lord is my banner, for he said, because the Lord has sworn, the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. 36. Who was 36. Who was Zipporah to Moses? Wife, sister, mother, daughter. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is wife, Exodus 2:21. Then Moses was content to live with a man, and he gave Zipporah his daughter to Moses as wife. 37. Who advised Moses to select elders among the people to help him judge Israel? Aaron, Jethro, Joshua, Miriam. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jethro, Exodus 18:17-18. So Moses' father-in-law Jethro said to him, "The thing that you do is not good. Both you and these people who are with you will surely wear yourselves out." 38. Who was the priest of Midian in Moses' time? Hobab, Laban, Jethro, Eleazar. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Jethro, Exodus 3:1. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. 39. In which month after leaving Egypt did the Israelites arrive at Mount Sinai? 6th month, 12th month, 1st month, 3rd month. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is 3rd month, Exodus 19:1. In the 3rd month after the children of Israel had gone out of the land of Egypt, on the same day they came to the wilderness of Sinai. 40. What did Moses tell the people to do in preparation to meet God at Mount Sinai? Offer sacrifices, build an altar, wash their clothes, hold a feast. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is wash their clothes. Exodus 19:10. Then the Lord said to Moses, Go to the people and consecrate them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes. 41. Which chapter of Exodus records the Ten Commandments? Chapter 10, Chapter 15, Chapter 40, Chapter 20. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Chapter 20. The Ten Commandments are recorded in Exodus 20. 42. Which commandment comes after you shall not murder? You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. Honor your father and mother. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, you shall not commit adultery. Exodus 20:13-14. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. 43. What did God caution the Israelites not to use while making an altar for Him? Huge rocks, wood, hewn stone, bronze. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is hewn stone, Exodus 20:25. And if you make me an altar of stone, you shall not build it of hewn stone, for if you use your tool on it, you have profaned it. 44. What does the first commandment say? You shall not have any other gods before me. Honor your father and mother. Remember the Sabbath day. You shall not make any graven image. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, you shall not have any other gods before me. Exodus 23. 45. What were the Israelites commanded to do to their farms every seventh year? You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, let them rest. Exodus 23:11. But the seventh year you shall let it rest and life follow, that the poor of your people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field may eat. 46. What punishment was given to kidnappers? Flogging, imprisonment, death, exile. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is death. Exodus 21:16. He who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, shall surely be put to death. 47. What was done to oxen that gored people to death? Offered as sacrifices, stoned to death, sold, eaten. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is stoned to death. Exodus 21:28. If an ox gores a man or a woman to death, then the ox shall surely be stoned, and its flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be acquitted. 48. What punishment was given to those who lay with animals? Banishment, imprisonment, death, public humiliation. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is death. Exodus 22:19. Whoever lies with an animal shall surely be put to death. 49. What was the interest rate of money lent to the poor? 1%, 5%, 10%, none. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is none. Exodus 22:25. If you lend money to any of my people who are poor among you, you shall not be like a moneylender to him. You shall not charge him interest. 50. What was done to meat of animals torn by beasts? It was burned. It was given to the priests. It was buried. It was thrown to the dogs. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, it was thrown to the dogs. Exodus 22:31. And you shall be holy men to me. You shall not eat meat torn by beasts in the field. You shall throw it to the dogs. 51. Why does Exodus caution us against taking bribes? It enslaves the soul. It leads to poverty. It angers God. It blinds and perverts justice. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, it blinds and perverts justice. Exodus 23:8. And you shall take no bribe, for a bribe blinds the discerning and perverts the words of the righteous. 52. How many times a year did Israel observe a feast to the Lord? 1, 2, 3, 5. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is 3. Exodus 23:14. 3 times you shall keep a feast to me in the year. 53. Which feast was celebrated in the first month? Pentecost, Passover, Feast of Tabernacles, Jubilee. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Passover. Exodus 12:2. This month shall be your beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak to all the congregation of Israel, saying, On the 10th of this month every man shall take for himself a lamb. 54. How many elders of Israel accompanied Moses to the mountain during the making of the covenant? You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is 70. Exodus 24:1. Now he said to Moses, Come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship from afar. 55. For how long did Moses stay up the mountain after the making of the covenant? 30 days, 20 days, 40 days, 10 days. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is 40 days. Exodus 24:18. So Moses went into the midst of the cloud and went up into the mountain, and Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. 56. How many lamps were there in the lampstand? 5, 7, 6, 12. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is 7. Exodus 25:37. You shall make 7 lamps for it, and they shall arrange its lamps so that they give light in front of it. 57. What wood was used in making the altar of burnt offering? Cedar, pine, acacia, oak. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is acacia. Exodus 27:1. You shall make an altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar shall be square, and its height shall be 3 cubits. 58. What material was used to overlay the altar of burnt offering? Iron, bronze, gold, silver. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is bronze. Exodus 27:2. You shall make its horns on its 4 corners. Its horns shall be of one piece with it, and you shall overlay it with bronze. 59. Which of these was not part of the priestly garment? Breastplate, turban, sandals, ephod. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is sandals. Exodus 28:4. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a skillfully woven tunic, a turban, and a sash. 60. Where were the Urim and Thummim placed in the priestly garment? On the turban, in the breastplate, on the robe, in the ephod. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is in the breastplate, Exodus 28:30, and you shall put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be over Aaron's heart when he goes in before the Lord. 61. Who was Moses' spokesman to Pharaoh? Joshua, Hur, Aaron, Caleb. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Aaron, Exodus 4:14-16. So he, Aaron, shall be your spokesman to the people, and he himself shall be as a mouth for you, and you shall be to him as God. 62. What was the fate of Aaron's sons who offered unauthorized fire before the Lord? They were banished from the camp. They were cursed. They were consumed by fire. They became lepers. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, they were consumed by fire. Exodus 24:2. So fire went out from the Lord and devoured them, and they died before the Lord. 63. What was the appearance of manna described as? Yellow like corn, green like grass, like white coriander seed, red like berries. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is, like white coriander seed, Exodus 16:31, and the house of Israel called its name manna, and it was like white coriander seed, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. 64. What did God tell Moses to strike to provide water for the Israelites? A tree, a rock, a spring, a dry well. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is a rock, Exodus 17:6, and you shall strike the rock, and water will come out of it that the people may drink. 65. What form did the Lord use in guiding the Israelites by night during their journey? A glowing rod, a pillar of fire, the moonlight, a torch carried by Moses. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is a pillar of fire, Exodus 13:21, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, so as to go by day and night. 66. What form did the Lord use in guiding the Israelites by day during their journey? The sun, the Ark of the Covenant, a bright star, a cloud. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is a cloud, Exodus 13:21, and the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead the way. 67. What did Moses stretch over the Red Sea to part it? His robe, the Ark of the Covenant, his rod, a branch. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is his rod, Exodus 14:16. But lift up your rod and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it. 68. What did Zipporah do to save Moses from death? Circumcised her son, pleaded with the angel, prayed to God, built an altar. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is circumcise her son, Exodus 4:25. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at Moses' feet and said, "Surely you are a husband of blood to me." 69. What disease did God plague the Egyptians with during the 10 plagues? Blindness, boils, fever, leprosy. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is boils, Exodus 9:10. Then they took ashes from the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses scattered them toward heaven, and they caused boils that broke out in sores on men and beasts. 70. Who accompanied Moses up Mount Sinai to receive the tablets of the law? Caleb, Aaron, Joshua, Miriam. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Joshua, Exodus 24:13. So Moses arose with his assistant Joshua, and Moses went up to the mountain of God. 71. What did God tell Moses to throw into bitter waters to make them drinkable? A tree, stones, his rod, sand. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is a tree, Exodus 15:25. So he cried out to the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree. When he cast it into the waters were made sweet. 72. Which object did the Israelites make to worship while Moses was on Mount Sinai? A silver dove, a wooden idol, a bronze serpent, a golden calf. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is a golden calf, Exodus 32:4. And he received the gold from their hand, and he fashioned it with an engraving tool, and made a molded calf. Then they said, "This is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt." 73. What did Moses break in anger upon seeing the golden calf? The tablets of stone, a jar of manna, the table of shewed bread, a golden bowl. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is the tablets of stone, Exodus 32:19. So it was as soon as he came near the camp that he saw the calf and the dancing. So Moses' anger became hot, and he cast the tablets out of his hands and broke them at the foot of the mountain. 74. What covered the tabernacle as a sign of God's presence? A dove, a cloud, fire, lightning. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is a cloud, Exodus 40:34. Then the cloud covered the tabernacle of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. 75. Who held up Moses' arms during the battle against Amalek? Joshua and Caleb, Aaron and Hur, Miriam and Zipporah, Nadab and Abihu. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is Aaron and Hur, Exodus 17:12. But Moses' hands became heavy, so they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it, and Aaron and Hur supported his hands. 76. What did God say would happen if the Israelites touched Mount Sinai during his presence? They would see his glory, they would be forgiven, they would die, they would be struck blind. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is they would die, Exodus 19:12. Whoever touches the mountain shall surely be put to death. 77. What did the Israelites use to cover the tabernacle? Silver and gold sheets, woven wool, palm leaves, animal skin. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is animal skin, Exodus 36:19. And he made a covering for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and a covering of badger skins above that. 78. What did Moses do to the golden calf the Israelites worshipped? Buried it in the wilderness, hid it in the mountain, burned it and scattered the ashes, ground it to powder and made them drink it. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is ground it to powder and made them drink it, Exodus 32:20. Then he took the calf, which they had made, burned it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and he scattered it on the water and made the children of Israel drink it. 79. What covered Mount Sinai when God descended upon it? Lightning and hail, fire and smoke, a rainbow, thick air. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is fire and smoke. Exodus 19:18. Now Mount Sinai was completely in smoke because the Lord descended upon it in fire. 80. How many Israelites left Egypt during the Exodus? 600,000 men besides children, 500,000 men besides children, 1 million men besides children, 300,000 men besides children. You have 10 seconds to answer. The answer is 600,000 men besides children, Exodus 12:37. Then the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot besides children. And there you have it. How well did you do? Tally your score and post in the comments. And don't forget to share this quiz with your family and friends. See you in the next one. God bless.